What's good? So I put together a list, right? And I'm gonna go over it with y'all today. It's the wealth ladder. Trademark. Anyway, it's from destitute to ultra rich. Now y'all know how I do it. Like I don't do all the editing and stuff, but I'm gonna like pan over to my screen for those of you who like to read and who are visual, and you'll get the concept. Now, me personally, that's why I started off at Destitute, right? And as we go along, I'll tell you what level I am currently, and you can kind of see what level are you currently. So my belief is you have certain habits and certain choices at every level. So you could be destitute, but that don't mean physically, right? But that don't mean you have to be destitute mentally, right? And destitute is like a level below poverty. But we'll get into it. All right, we'll start right now, actually. So, destitute, for those of you who don't know, is pretty much. Let me get this. Let me get this scheduled. Let me get this situated. Boom. There we go. Your income is no steady income. So think of it like you are hustling, like no job, right? No business. You a straight hustler. You getting out the mud. You probably ain't even got no food stamps for real. You know, your day-to-day needs, your day-to-day focus, so your net worth is negative. You either in debt or you're homeless. Now, saying all this, like, this is just for clarity. This is not like to say a certain level is better from a personal standpoint. Now, a certain level is better from a financial standpoint, of course, because who wants to wake up every day with their main objective be how I'm going to eat? If you think you want that, you might want to reconsider. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you're able to endure that, then that creates a certain type of beast within you, you know, because you literally had to get up every day and figure out, okay, how I'm going to eat. Forget all that extra stuff. Forget how I'm going to pay bills. I don't have no bills to pay. I don't have no house. I don't have no electric. I don't have no internet. I'm just trying to eat out here. You know, so that's where we at when we talking about destitute. So no steady income, right? Survival mode. Straight up survival mode. Your focus is shelter, food, and basic needs. How I'm gonna watch my ass today. You know what I'm saying? The reality is no resources, no support system, may rely on shelters and handouts. So next step above destitute, right? When you get out of destitution, now I don't know if destitution is a word, okay? That's not to be confused with prostitution. But when you get out of destitution, let me see. Then the next step will be poverty, right? And that's where we're about to go to right here. I don't want to give out the next one, so that's why I'm trying to. Yeah, there we go. Boom. All right, so the next one will be poverty. So with poverty, you a step above destitute, right? So now you got an income, right? McDonald's, Wendy's, somewhere, part-time, something. Your net worth still zero or deeply negative. And in other videos, I'll show you how to actually conduct or see what your net worth is, right? Your freedom, minimal. This is where we go into government aid, low-wage jobs, WIC, food stamps, should I say? How to get through the week and or the month is your focus. And you heavily rely on Medicaid, SNAP, and Section 8. Now, once again, ain't nothing wrong with you as a person if you gotta depend on these things. But if you have an understanding that I'm utilizing this as an opportunity to move to the next level. Because like, if you just came from destitute, right? And now you got an opportunity to have Section 8 and a part-time job or a minimum wage job, low wage job, take that as an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look at it as well, all they giving me is, your ass was just homeless with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, see how you can get to that next level. And when I say your ass, because I've been there. I haven't been on like personally been on food stamps, but I was in the house with food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Section 8, like I still got family on Section 8 as we speak today. You know, like, so the only reason I'm not on Section 8 is because of my mindset. I'm gonna go ahead and say that now, because a lot of choices I made was not adjacent with Section 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, okay, boom. So the next one, after you go from poverty, the next would be low income. And y'all can take screenshots of these or whatever you want. You feel me? Like, so low income is the next one. So when it comes to low income, we got 20 to 40K a year, right? Your net worth is either 0 to 10K. Your freedom, barely any. You're working nonstop just to stay afloat. Your focus is you're keeping bills paid and you're avoiding emergencies. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you living week paycheck to paycheck, like, you can't have no emergency or it'll break the levee and your ass will go back into poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you ahead of poverty, you just got to keep grinding. All right, no savings, no investments. One setback can cause a collapse. So this is where real decisions start to get made. When you can't make no excuse. When you know how you be like, yo, get you an emergency fund. Don't be that type of person to say, I don't have any money to save. Don't be that person. I don't give a damn you saving $5 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, because an emergency is just that. It's an emergency. You don't know when it's going to come. Who say the emergency going to come this month? Right? Who say $5 could be the exact thing you need to get you to another decision to make you a $200, right? So don't look at the amount. Look at the situation. Don't look at the amount. Look at the opportunity. You see what I'm saying? So now we're gonna move from low income to the next phase. And y'all can screenshot these if you want to, right? What you think? What you think is after low income? Here we go. Now this is me. I'm about to show y'all where I am. You know what I'm saying? This is where I am. Personally. Lower middle class. So lower middle class, where you got an income of 40 to 65K a year. Your net worth is anywhere from 0 to 50K. Freedom minimum. Surviving paycheck to paycheck. I'm a little above paycheck to paycheck. Budgeting is your focus? Yes. Debt management is your focus? Yes. Trying to save? Well, I'm saving, but yes. Working hard, limited options, and time. All right? So I'm transitioning out of this lower middle class just because some of my focuses. Now, if you notice, the focus for Destitute was not budgeting. It was surviving. Very much so, because you in that you in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you in the trenches, you gotta survive, You feel me? But within survival doesn't mean you can't learn. Right? Because even when I was destitute, I had some downtime. Right? You can learn, okay, a budget, you can learn or understand a budget is something that's necessary. So as you're in the food stamp line, be listening to a damn budgeting podcast. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So the next one, if we got lower middle class, right? It's naturally the next one would be middle class. So this is like, I'm transitioning out of lower middle class into middle class. So income 65 to 100K a year, right? Net worth anywhere between 50 and 150K. Freedom, some. You got minor flexibility. Emergency handling, right? So if an emergency happens, because you got your emergency fund set up, because you got health care, things of that nature, it's not going to wipe you out the game. Trying to build credit, save, and possibly own a home, right? And still trading time for money, steady, but not secure. Right, so middle class, if we know anything about what's going on, especially in America today, the middle class is essentially being wiped out. And it's the haves and the have-nots. But if you are in the middle class, right, you're in a better position than destitute, poverty, low middle class. So understand that you're in a great position and do what you need to do in order to exceed the position that you're in, right? Because the next class would be, yep, you guessed it, upper middle class. Here we go. So with upper middle class, your income is anywhere between 100 and 250K a year. Your net worth is 150K to 500K. Come on now. You getting some traction, some momentum. Your freedom is more. Let me move this back a little bit so okay, boom. Your freedom is more. You got some choices of how and where to work. If you're in this position, let's not complain. Make sure your focus is taxes, investments, right? So you can not only grow your money, but keep your money. It's not ate up by inflation. Diversifying your income, all right? And the reality is you can invest in family and lifestyle, and money gives options. This is a comfortable place for a lot of people, and a lot of people would love to be in this position. Now, it's not just going to happen. You notice that some of the actual focus was taxes. What strategies are you utilizing for your taxes? If you don't know any, then there's actual tax professionals that you can either hire or pick their brain, or you can do some reading or some research. YouTube has a lot of options. The AI, language models have a lot of options. All right, investments. Everybody should be an investor. All right, that's how you make sure that your money isn't ate up due to inflation. You understand that the value of a dollar is going down over time. The same amount of goods and services that a dollar could purchase back in 1950 is not the same as 2026, right? So after the upper class, this is where a lot of people, I guess you could say, wish. And I say wish because it's a wish if you do not put any action. They were, you guessed it, it starts with an R and it ends with H. Rich. All right? So rich. And forgive me that this is split up like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm gonna get you squared away. So rich, you got an income of 250K to 500 a year. Right? Your net worth is anywhere between 500K and 2 million. Your freedom is take control begins. Like you have real leverage, right? Matter of fact, if you have $1 million credit, this is rich is where you can become. Rich is where you can become what they call an accredited investor. So an accredited investor, you either making 250K a year or you have a net worth of $1 million. That way you have opportunities to investments outside of the retail investor, right? Like instead of investing in like oil stock, you can actually invest in the oil drilling company, the system itself. You know what I'm saying? Like you have other opportunities that open up for you to actually make more money. That's how, you know how you say money makes money, or the rich get richer. That's because they have opportunities that's not available to someone whose net worth or who haven't broke that threshold. So if your mindset or ambitions is to grow your investments and be more wealthy as a person financially, then it's something that you should study up on, right? Okay, so next we have And thank y'all for following with me. If you, I know this is over 10 minutes, but I wanted to really break this down. So we got freedom, time control begins. All right, I already said that. So asset protection. Now you're not just trying to grow your asset. You're trying to protect the money and preserve the money that you are already accumulated. So then we got scaling business or brand. You notice that it says scaling a business or a brand. That is something that the middle class was not focused on. That's something that poverty was not focused on. Your reality is you're living well, but you're still actively working. Don't think that you're just gonna get rich and just I'm rich now. I ain't got nothing to do. No, some of the hardest working people are rich. All right, so after rich, we would have, what do you think? Exactly. Smart. Wealthy, right? So wealthy is an income of 500K to 200 mil a month, mostly from assets. Now, that's mostly from assets. This is a key component to what it just said, mostly from assets. It didn't say you have a $2 million a year job. No, it's because of all of the investments, all of the moves that you was making along that ladder. Now your investments, now your assets are making you money. I teach my kids an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, something that brings you value. All right? Let me tell you something. Asset doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. Asset could be a relationship that you have. You know, if you build in relationships, those can be assets that open up other opportunities and avenues. Just like an asset could be, just like a relationship could be a liability. It's certain people that you may need to cut off in your life. It's certain people that you may not need to be spending time with, right? So just keep that in mind if you're trying to get wealthy, right? All right, so from assets to net worth, anywhere from 2 mil to 10 mil. Work is optional, can live off of investments. Again, work is optional because what? You're living off of your investments. That's wealth. When you can decide whether or not you want to work because you put in all that work. Now you're living off your investments, right? Your focus is pretty much legacy planning, systems, right? To keep that passive income coming. And you can live anywhere, do anything. Time is yours. You're wealthy. All right. This ladder shows you. So when it comes to a ladder, right? We're not talking about an elevator. An elevator, you push the button, you stand in there, and it just goes up to the top. No. It's not the wealth elevator. It's the wealth ladder. That means you got to climb step by step, step by step. That takes action, right? Next, what's after wealthy, you would think, right? Wealthy, isn't that the end? No. Next, we have super rich, right? This is where you're making 2 to 10 million a year. Your net worth is anywhere between 10 million and 100 million, right? Freedom, you move like a CEO, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where it's like, okay, I have a layover, right? Let me get a Louis Vuitton bag because I have a layover, and you know what I'm saying? Like you're in the freaking what you call that? In the airport, the designated places for the first class people and everything like that. Matter of fact, you ain't even in the airport. This is private jet territory. All right, so buying businesses, you've already invested into businesses. Now you're just buying the whole thing. Scaling globally. So you're not only in North America, you're in South America, you're in Europe, you're in Asia. You know what I'm saying? Like you're scaling globally, and you operate with power and privacy, right? Because you have the resources, and not only the resources, the knowledge to do so. You get the knowledge because over the time from you coming to, if you came from poverty or if you came from destitution, over that time, you acquired the knowledge to move a certain way, how you need to move. Now, last but certainly not least, nah, this actually is least. This is the last one. So we got super rich, right? And what do you think the last one? If what's after super? Right? Now we're going into okay. You're you're pretty much running the globe at a global scale, right? The next one, and this is the last one. Make sure you like, comment, or subscribe if you like this information, and if you want to see anything else broke down, then you can kind of give me suggestions. Now, will I have the answers or will I have a breakdown? I don't know, but I will see, right? All right. So next we have ultra rich. Ultra rich. Oh, let me move this down a little bit. Dang, what am I? There we go. Ultra rich. All right, so with ultra rich, that's when your income is 10 million plus a year, net worth over 100 million plus. You got total freedom, influence, and access. Empire building. That's your focus. You're focused on building empires. Global strategy, institutions. These are things that continue on for not only decades but centuries, right? You control systems, not just income. Right? Things like McDonald's is a system. Things like Geico Insurance is a system. Things like Tesla is a system. Things like AT&T, Verizon, those are systems. You know, a lot of CEOs, a lot of people who have built businesses that still remain today are gone. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gone, right? But the system remains. All right, so we're gonna do a quick little recap. Now I'm gonna let y'all go because I know I'm over 10 minutes, but I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I hope you gained value from this video, and I hope it wasn't too ghetto. But hey, this how I do it. I'm really I don't like editing like that for real. All right, so we went from destitute to poverty to low income to lower middle class to middle class to upper middle class to rich to wealthy to super rich to ultra rich. I got two questions for you. Question number one, where are you now? And question number two is, where are you striving to be? All right? Because I'm here to thrive. I'll catch y'all on the next one.